Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Now, the timing of this one seems a little bit too convenient. You know, like I always say in the world of politics, there's almost no such thing as a coincidence. The GOP has taken over the House of Representatives. They've gone on the offense with various different committees. The most recent committee announced is the, quote, Government Weaponization Committee, and all of a sudden, now, former intelligence officials are trying to clear the record, in my opinion, trying to save their own behinds. It's no coincidence at all that James Clapper is now accusing Politico of distorting his infamous Hunter Biden laptop was a Russian disinformation plot letter, and I'm here to say, not so fast, you're not going to get away that easy. We're calling BS on the deep state and their federal agent goons. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so the investigation into government weaponization against conservatives has started. The GOP, like I said, is going on the offensive, and let me paint the picture to show you what I mean by that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A lot has been said here about the fear of threats, but what we're concerned about in the scope of this committee is the fear of threats to the American citizens. The reason we use the term weaponization is because it is appropriate. We have so many examples of that across so many federal agencies. They were designed to serve and protect the American people and have been used in recent years against them, that it will take us probably 2 years to lay that out. But our Democrat colleagues have tried to downplay the importance of this select committee and even criticize its name as hyperbolic. But as this example and so many others clearly show, key agencies have indeed been weaponized. We're informed even still today that that memo has not been retracted by the Attorney General.
According to polling, of the people that were made aware of the Hunter Biden laptop story, 53% would have changed their vote, including 61% of Democrats. This is the definition of election meddling, and it's the definition of election meddling by the FBI on behalf of Democrats, paid for by the U.S. taxpayers. It's collusion, it's corruption, and it's unconstitutional. Because this is not just about the Twitter files, which folks are focused on because of the news it made. It's about a systemic rot in the culture and the politicization of the leadership of the FBI, and it needs to be rooted out.
Like I told you guys, 2023 is looking like it's going to be the year of accountability. Not only holding the GOP accountable ahead of GOP House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's election to his position, but by extension, by holding him accountable, holding everybody else accountable. And now with these investigations launched, this headline right over here pops up. Former spy chief accuses Politico of distorting letter on Hunter Biden laptop. Former director of national intelligence James Clapper accused Politico of, quote, deliberately misrepresenting a letter he and 50 other intelligence veterans signed regarding the Hunter Biden laptop story. Clapper, who served as the nation's spy chief during the Obama administration, said the letter did not assert that reporting on the laptop was part of a Russian disinformation operation, a notion that Politico peddled with its headline when first reporting the existence of the letter. There was a message distortion, Clapper told the Washington Post's fact-checkers. All we were doing was raising a yellow flag that this could be Russian disinformation. Politico deliberately distorted what we said. It was clear in paragraph 5. To which my response is, very frankly, please, Mr. James Clapper, F off. This is that typical legal jargon trick. Well, we weren't asserting it directly, we were merely implying it. Therefore, we have plausible deniability when this thing inevitably boomerangs right back at us and hits us in the face. James Clapper knew exactly what he was doing, along with the other 50 intelligence officials or former intelligence officials. Although he did say one thing that was accurate, the Politico headline was deliberate. Frankly, this whole thing, including what James Clapper did, going to Politico with his letter, the whole thing was deliberate. It was all one big propaganda strategy to affect the election. Now James Clapper's trying to save his own behind. Unfortunately, we have this clip from the 16th of October, 2020.
Obama. So, Director, a bunch of questions from this. Let me just start with this. How much does the source matter, right? So you hear the story of this laptop. We don't know a lot. We do know that the way that this information is getting out is through Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani. How much does the source matter here?
Well, source matters a lot, and the timing matters a lot, I think. And to me, this is just classic textbook Soviet-Russian tradecraft at work. The Russians have analyzed the target. They understand that the president and his enablers crave dirt on Vice President Biden, whether it's real or contrived, it doesn't matter to them. And so all of a sudden, two and a half weeks before the election, this laptop appears somehow without, and emails on it without any metadata. It's all very curious. But so here you have a willing target, and the Russians, who are very sophisticated about how to exploit a willing target. And to me, that's what's at work here.
And so, when you try to figure out the specifics of, whether that meeting email, for example, is real in the midst of this, do you think stuff like that could just have been planted in there and be completely fake?
I do. I think the emails could be contrived, particularly since, as I understand it from what I've read, they appear without any metadata. That is, from, to, and any technical data, at least immediately evident.
Everything he said was a total lie. And he kept saying that he believes that that's exactly what this is. He used his position of authority, his history, and his experience within the intelligence world to craft a bogus narrative ahead of the elections to protect Joe Biden. And I mean, really, just to continue to pile on to this clown, James Clapper, if he knew that Politico had acted so unethically and deliberately misinterpreted his words, why did it take him more than 2 years to come clean and clear the record? He is a liar, a snake, a deep state tool, which of course isn't surprising at all. James Clapper also said that more and more of the Steele dossier has turned out to be true. He said that back in 2018. Essentially, James Clapper is claiming that the PP tapes and the totally debunked Steele dossier, it's time to stop playing games with these deep state operatives. It's time to truly go on the offensive. Kevin McCarthy previously promised that he would be launching an investigation into the 51 former intelligence officials who wrote this letter, and he better make good on this promise, because if he doesn't, then it's going to continue. James Clapper in that CNN interview was talking about the convenient timing of the Hunter Biden laptop drop. Well, you know what was even more convenient timing? The 51 former intelligence officials dropping that letter to Politico, granting to the Democrats and the Bidens their media alibi. Let's talk about coincidences and coincidental timing. What about the DOJ's raid on Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home ahead of the 2022 midterms, while simultaneously covering up Joe Biden's classified documents scandal, which he now admits to, by the way.
I made voluntarily, no one's had to threaten to do anything. Voluntarily open every single aperture I have with the house, offices, everything, for them to come and look and spend hours searching my home. Invited them. Nobody, and so, and the best of my knowledge, the kinds of things they picked up are things that from 1974, stray papers. There may be something else I don't know.
Documents dated back to 1974 when Joe Biden was a senator. Isn't it just convenient how right ahead of the elections, salacious documents and bogus accusations from anonymous sources and all of these ridiculous phony scandals involving Donald Trump seem to drop one after another ahead of every important election cycle? If the deep state is not held accountable this time, they're just going to keep doing it. They're going to keep playing this propaganda game. The puppet masters are going to continue to control the puppets, and the illusion of choice, the illusion of freedom, will be all that remains of American democracy. James Clapper and the rest of these FBI, CIA, DOJ goons should be shaking in their boots. And honestly, that alone isn't even enough. It's time to go ultra-based and expose these deep state corrupt actors for exactly who and what they are. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, we'd love to have you here. I want to thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.